Sailing vessel Blue Heron starts off across the Florida Straits after its race to Havana, Cuba on March 8th.
Havana to Key West. Sails reefed in just a bit.
The wind that day was over 20 knots and the boat was making 9 to 10 knots. The seas are 10 to 12 feet, sometimes 14, and we've shortened the sail plan to accommodate the rougher conditions. On board for the return trip were Russ Hoadley and Rick Jastrzemski, shown there. Bob Hoadley's taking the video. You can see Havana in the background about 5 miles off. Incidentally, ignore these date codes. They're not correct. Our fourth crew member was Kevin Ward. A cold front had come down a few days earlier, actually pinned us in Marina Hemingway for 2 extra days, and made the Florida Straits virtually impassable. Once we got underway, it was still pretty lively out there, as you can see from some of these video clips.
That was a monster.
Once we got the boat trimmed up and we have the autopilot on, she steers very well, as you can see. Over the course of 10 hours, we averaged 9 knots and reached Key West before dark.
Good sailing.
In the cockpit here are Rick at the helm. Over here is Kevin Ward. I'm down below fixing a little bit of food. This was the fastest crossing I'd ever made of the Florida Straits. Every other time it had taken an overnight trip. Some of the other returning sailboats reported waves as high as 20 feet, but we didn't see any that high, I don't believe. I think the highest we saw was about 14.
We all got our PFDs tethered, hooked in, we're safe.
During the trip, we monitored radio traffic between 2 other returning boats from the race. One had lost its rudder and the other was going to its aid. We looked at possibly trying to help, but it turned out that we were too far away. We were probably the fastest boat in the group that was making a crossing that day, and we were well ahead of the others.
Well, it's on 60 to 70. Yeah, our sails plan is a little out of balance. The rudder is over, now 5 to 10 degrees. Ten, 1, 8, 18. was getting these. There's Old Man C.
Although the waves are pretty big, the sail was fabulous because we were going so fast and the weather was so pretty. It was cool and breezy, and there were puffy clouds all around the horizon.
Here we are at 108.
It would have been nice if the race itself had been as satisfying, but we got becalmed during the race, as did many other boats, and we were forced to motor in because a cold front was threatening, and we were warned that we should get into port quickly.
Checking in at 340. Now, mainsail still furled some. Yeah, so we're doing better than a knot faster still. Here we are, it is 5:30 and we are 2 miles from the sea buoy outside of Key West. That's Key West right over there. There's a cruise ship coming out. And we made it here in 10 hours. We were hauling ass. Almost 6 o'clock. There's the buoy. We're inside the outer buoy.
As we approach the end of the trip, we feel pretty good about it. Kev's hamming it up with the electric winch. Rick is demonstrating his new hairdo from the wind. We've had a good day on the water. As we approached the Key West ship channel, we had a couple other sailboats entering with us, but we also had 2 big cruise ships coming out past us, probably headed for Cozumel. When we got near the city and the sun was setting, you could see the schooner charter fleet coming out with their dinner guests, and it seemed the end of a perfect day of blue water sailing.